Hey, today let's talk about getting high. Let's pass the joint. Let's do a few shots. Let's have some wine. Let's have some whiskey. Man, let's just get stoned and drunk and forget about our problems. Such a great feeling, isn't it? At first hit off of a joint, you get silly, you get stupid. You forget the fact that your life is a mess. You then get ultra creative and deep. That deep, stoned, introspective feeling where you think you've come up with the solution to the world. Oh, you feel good. Take another hit of some pot and feel even better, and you think to yourself, man, I am getting a really good breakthrough today. Oh, this is good stuff. Too bad you're not going to remember it in the morning, because when you wake up in the morning, pot literally erases your memory, and you wake up all fuzzy, only to do it again. Alcohol, the same thing. You have these emotional moments with alcohol, self-proclaimed moments. And you think you figured it all out, and you wake up the next day and you're a little hungover and you haven't figured out shit until you go do it again. And you get on that perpetual cycle. The higher you get, the drunker you get, the dumber you actually become. Getting high does not give you the answers to why your life is not working out. It just covers it up. Because you're so damn stoned and lazy, there's no way in the world you're going to act upon those answers. They just don't come. Yeah, you might have an epiphany when you're stoned, but being stoned means you just want to get fat and sit on the couch and eat. You're not exactly going to go run that marathon that you know you need to run. You're not exactly going to go fix your life up. You're just going to go and get lazy and get lost in visual stimulation world. The internet's a fantastic friend when you're high. You can look at websites. You can watch YouTube videos. Snapchat is always fun. You get no answers. You just get dumber the higher you get. Dumber the drunken you get. And let's look at all the dumb things you've done when you're high. How many times people tell me that they drunk texted somebody? Well, that was a dumb thing to do. Some emotional text to an ex out of the blue. You think, there's nothing wrong with it. You're just emoting because the alcohol is giving you the freedom to be stupid. So you then send the drunk text, and then you wake up the next morning and you look at your phone and you realize, oh my God, I did send it. When you're high, all the dumb things you do when you're high, so many of them. We can just count the ways. The higher you get, the chunkier you get, the lazier you become. The more interesting Netflix is, and binge watching is fucking fantastic when you're stoned, because you don't want to do anything. You see, you have this epiphany about how you're going to fix things. You have this incredible cerebral answer from the weed, and then you just drift back into the wonderful world of Internet Explorer, Safari, or Netflix, and you marathon out on something. All getting high does is mask our problems. Look, I'm not saying somebody who smokes an occasional joint or has an occasional drink and they got their shit together, nothing wrong with it. If you're doing it for fun, there's nothing wrong with it. But the problem is most people smoke and pass the joint and go puff puff in the bong and puff puff in the pipe because they are trying to puff puff away what's really bothering them. They'll have the epiphanies to make it feel like they're actually processing something. The epiphanies will be wonderful and great, but then when you wake up the next morning and you got that stone fog, the epiphanies go away. Alcohol, the same exact thing. You get dumb when you're high. You don't get smart, and you don't confront your issues. Smart people stay sober and realize life is not easy. Realize that they need to stay in discomfort. You see, it's uncomfortable being uncomfortable. It's one of the worst feelings in the world to be uncomfortable. So most people want to escape from being uncomfortable. It's a lot easier to escape being uncomfortable. It's a lot easier to rationalize something. It's a lot easier to get stoned or drunk and cover up the uncomfortable feeling instead of solving it. The problem is the higher you get, the drunker you get, the dumber you become, because you're really just deceiving yourself that any of this shit is actually going to go away. None of it's going to go away. It's just going to get worse and just perpetuate. 10 pounds leads to 20. $100,000 in the bank leads to 50. A bad relationship leads to a worse relationship. The lazier your mind becomes to tackle the problems that are there in front of you, the worse the problem comes, because all you're doing is puff, puff, drink, drink, shot, shot, beer, beer, wine, wine, masking the problem. It doesn't go away. And that's why consistently smoking pot or drinking alcohol just makes you dumber, because you're actually deluding yourself, thinking that this issue will go away, that these epiphanies will actually stick. Nothing sticks when you're high because you're numb. Nothing sticks when you're drunk because you're numb. It's called numbing out for a reason. We abuse drugs and alcohol in this society because we don't want to face our own inner truth. We don't want to face the excuses that keep holding us back. We don't want to face the stuff that we see on a daily basis. So we pacify ourselves. A joint should really look like a pacifier. It would probably be a great way, because you could just suck on that pacifier and just take a little hit nonstop. Because that's all alcohol and weed and any other drugs is an adult pacifier. Because you don't want to deal with your issues. You don't want to deal with your problems. So you numb yourself. Being numb is dumb. Because you're not going to grow at all. Nothing is going to change. Nothing is going to evolve. You got to sit in the discomfort, folks. I've talked about it over and over again. You got to lay off the things that pacify you, the excuses, because weed and alcohol and any type of drug is just another excuse to push your life further down the road. The further you push your life down the road, the more fucked up and the tougher it is to get it back. Imagine you got lazy and you gained weight when you were smoking pot. The more you gain, the harder it is to take off, because you got to work fucking hard to take it off. If you go into debt because, you get high and you shop or whatever it is, the further you go down this drug-induced stupidity journey, the more in debt you go, the harder it is for you to climb back up out of the hole. If you're in a marriage that doesn't work out and you're drinking it away, the more years you put in, the harder it is to leave a marriage that doesn't function for you, that doesn't serve you. Confront your shit, people. Confront it. Stop numbing yourself out and confront your shit today, now. Every single time you're confronted with your shit, listen to your excuses that you have. Listen to the stories that you tell yourself. If it's the same story over and over again, it means you haven't confronted the shit. So you're numbing out on story high. If you're no longer numbing out on alcohol or weed or drug high. Confront your shit. Look in the mirror. Look at yourself naked from head to toe. What is reflecting back at you is the way you have been conducting your life. Think about that. Think about standing naked, front, side, back, all over the mirror, looking at yourself. The way you look is how you've confronted and handled your life. Because that makes you vulnerable when you're naked staring at yourself in a mirror. When you're naked, you stare yourself in a mirror and do the flip and the 360-degree turn, you start to see the physical side of your body first. You see how you've conducted your physical health. If you're overweight, if you don't work out, you're seeing how you've neglected this body, this beautiful body of yours. But then it goes deeper. The longer you stand naked in front of a mirror, the more your bullshit comes out mentally, because your mind starts playing games with itself, making excuses of why you look the way you look, or why you're in the shape you're in, or why your life is. And then boom, right there is where your truth lies, and not the lies you tell yourself, or not the haze you put yourself in. Cut the shit, people. Strip down naked, man, and see your bullshit before your bullshit takes you on another high, drunken stupor further down the road. Because the farther you get from home base, the harder it is to drive back. Think of it as the LA 405 or the 101. The further you go down the 405 in rush hour, it takes you twice as long to get back. Think of yourself on a freeway. How far are you driving from home base right now, which is safety, which is where you want to be? How far down the freeway are you in your life? Have a wonderful weekend. I will see you next week, as always. DavidWygant.com. Show some love, man, on iTunes and spread the word. I will see you in December, which is on Monday.